Welcome back to another edition of the Planet Philly live stream. I'm Nick Earnshaw, your host once again this week. Second time this week we've been able to hang out. Very excited to talk with you guys tonight. We have a lot to get to. Eagles, 49ers, NFC Championship game coming this Sunday, 3 o'clock Eastern time. To say I'm excited, I guess it's an understatement. I think it's a little bit of an understatement because I'm ecstatic for this game, and you should be too. I mean, this is going to be an all-time matchup. Can't wait. Could the Eagles get it done? I believe so, and I'll give my pick before the end of the stream tonight. The essence of what I want to talk about, though, is Hurts versus Purdy, and we'll get to that in just a second. We're going to mention probably the Sixers at the end. I want to talk about that Embiid versus Ben Simmons, Sixers, Nets last night. Very entertaining game. No defense was played in that game. But we're going to get to that probably at the end of the show. Make a quick mention, go over that game as well. Jason Joseph yesterday, great show. And, he kind of hit the nail on the head. Could this be the best team in Eagles history? I think so. It has a chance. He claimed it. He said they are. I don't know if I'm there just yet. Couple, maybe two more wins. Yeah, I'll give it to him. I'll give him that title. Great job by Jason. He hung out with you around lunch yesterday, or around lunchtime. He went live. Replays on our YouTube channel. Make sure to follow at Planet Philly Pod, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch, everywhere. Just everywhere. We're all over the place. Make sure to follow us. You can also email us at planetphillypod@gmail.com. But the show today, Hurts versus Purdy. That's what we're going to talk about. And I put out a video from the live stream. I guess it was Tuesday night. We talked a little bit about Brock Purdy. And I put out a video talking about how I don't believe that Mr. Irrelevant, third string quarterback, rookie quarterback, only 7 starts to his name in his career, is going to come into Philadelphia on the road, his only third road game he started in his career, and win. And it reached San Francisco, and they didn't have so kind words for me. They think I'm crazy. They think I'm dead wrong. All right, fine. It's all in good fun. But, yeah, I really don't believe it's going to be the case that Purdy is going to walk into Philadelphia and win. And we've seen the national media hype up this 49ers team for a little bit now, and the continued disrespect to Philadelphia. That's kind of what's been the narrative out there, and it just continues. I mean, we're kind of used to it. I mean, the whole mantra, no one likes us, we don't care. Yeah, it continues. It just continues. And we saw the awards come out yesterday. The NFL awards were released. The finalists for MVP, Coach of the Year, Comeback Player of the Year. And we saw Jalen Hurts. He was nominated as a finalist for MVP. Probably should win it. Not going to, because he missed a couple of games towards the end of the season. And Patrick Mahomes probably will win that award. Nick Sirianni was not a finalist. Now, there was some confusion with Sirianni, and is he a finalist? Is he not? Because the NFL put out a post that had 5 coaches, but the AP only picks 3 finalists. And Sirianni was not one of the finalists for Coach of the Year, which is kind of crazy. He had the best record in football, young quarterback, second year starting. I don't know. He, that was just the start of the disrespect. The one that really gets me, and Shane Steichen also nominated for an award as a finalist for assistant coach, for the assistant coach award. So the problem I had was with the comeback player of the year. How Brandon Graham didn't get nominated, at least nominated. Maybe he doesn't win, but coming off the injury from last year, having double-digit sacks at his age, mid-30s, 34 years old, I don't know. Pretty good story, pretty good comeback, to say the least. I don't know. Maybe consider him at some point. I don't know. That's just where I'm at with all that. The continued disrespect of Philadelphia and Eagles, that just continues. It's nothing new to us, but hey, just wanted to throw that out there. My thoughts on how the Philadelphia Eagles continually get disrespected, and I think they're getting disrespected by the national media and a lot of people out there again with this game, because I feel like there's just this thing out there. I don't know what it is that Brock Purdy is going to come into Philadelphia and win. I just don't see it. Listen, he's had a phenomenal year. Phenomenal year. I got to give him a lot of credit. He's played really well in hard circumstances. He's been thrown into the fire. Garoppolo goes down. Trey Lance goes down. Great. He comes in and plays really well. Good for him. I think it ends. I think it ends this Sunday. I really do. Because I just have to go through it with you. You know, the difference in this game is going to be Jalen Hurts. It's going to be Brock Purdy. I mean, there's a discrepancy there. And for some reason, I saw somebody put out there, their top 4 remaining quarterbacks put Brock Purdy over Jalen Hurts. That's just, I'll try and keep it clean. It's just asinine. It really is. I mean, if you think Brock Purdy is a better quarterback than Jalen Hurts, I don't know what to tell you. You clearly haven't been watching a lot of football this entire year, because Jalen Hurts is a finalist for the MVP. He's better than Brock Purdy. It's not close. It's not really close. Purdy's had a great run. But who has he really played? What defenses has Brock Purdy really played? That's kind of where I'm at with this. And, you know, I want to go through some of his statistics from this year, because, yes, he's had a really good year. Only a few times has his completion percentage been below 65. Only twice. That's pretty good. On the year, 67.1% completion percentage, over 1,300 yards, 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions this year. Great. He's played well. I'm not saying he hasn't. It's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, who has he played? What defenses has he played? What good defenses has he played? And I just want to kind of go through it a little bit. I mean, he played Tampa Bay, not a great defense. Seattle, not a great defense. One of the worst run defenses in the league, actually. He then goes to Washington, wins that game. Okay, Washington, still not a great defense over there either. Even though the Eagles did lose to them. Fine. We'll go through it. Las Vegas Raiders, dumpster fire, not great. Derek Carr will be out of there. They won that game too. Arizona, another team, absolute an atrocity. It's an atrocity in Arizona. They fire Cliff Kingsbury. Who knows what's going to happen in Arizona? A division opponent, but nonetheless, not a great defense. Played Seattle again in the wild card round of the playoffs this year. Put up 41 on them. Again, not a great run defense in Seattle. They finally played, I feel as though, a real defense in the Dallas Cowboys in the divisional round. It was the first time they kind of faced a good defense this season. At least Brock Purdy, to say at least. At least Brock Purdy. Not the 49ers, but Brock Purdy facing a bad defense. Just going through some of the numbers in that game. He was 19 of 29, 65% completion percentage. Okay, fine. 214 yards passing. Fine. No touchdowns. His quarterback rating was his lowest out of his 7 starts this season. 87.4 quarterback rating. Not great. He was also sacked 2 times for 15 yards and was pressured a lot in this game. The stat that gets me is the yards per pass. Yards gained per pass. 7.38 yards per pass. To me, that's not that great. And it's his lowest of his 7 starts. 7.38 yards per pass attempt. I don't know. I mean, is there something to be said about this? That this was at home against a pretty good defense, and he really didn't do a ton. They only scored 19 points in this ball game. I think there's something to be said about that. And now you head into Philadelphia. You head into this game, the NFC Championship, on the road against Philadelphia, against the best ranked pass defense in the league. And if you go look at the stats, Philadelphia's number 1. They've only allowed 175 yards through the air this year. Number 1 in the NFL. Number one, not number 2, number 1. It seems like it's aligning for the Eagles, right? Doesn't it? You have Darius Slay. You have James Bradbury. Possibly could get Avonte Maddox back. He's been in and out of practice. CJ Gardner-Johnson in that secondary too. I don't know. I find it hard to believe after kind of seeing the trend. Also didn't play well in his last road game. Only has played 2 road games in his 7 starts. The last one had to go to overtime against a bad team in Las Vegas. Philadelphia, tough place to play. Now, in the press conferences on Wednesday, Kyle Shanahan, Brock Purdy as well, both of them, mentioned going to Seattle towards the end of the season, regular season, and kind of mentioning, hey, this could be like a little bit of a precursor to playing in Philadelphia in the playoffs if they do eventually get there, and they are now here. They worked on the silent count. Kyle Shanahan talked about, hey, it's good for him to get this practice, getting the silent counts, playing in a loud crowd. So also saw Deebo Samuel kind of nonchalantly say that Eagles going into the Eagles stadium at the link is similar to their stadium and going everywhere else in the NFL. Great. Keep doing that. Keep that same energy. I mean, the Atlanta Braves did the same thing. San Diego Padres kind of did the same thing heading into Philadelphia, and we know how much the crowd was a factor for the Philadelphia Phillies on their run. No doubt in my mind, it's going to be the same type of thing for the Philadelphia Eagles at the link on Sunday afternoon at 3 p.m. This happens all of the time. So the trend for me is that Brock Purdy is going to struggle on Sunday. Brock Purdy had trouble against a good Dallas defense. What's he going to do against a team that, like I mentioned before, and I got stuff from San Francisco fans about this, rivaled the 85 Bears in sacks. They almost caught them. They were very close. Multiple players on this Eagles front have double-digit sacks. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Am I crazy for thinking that Brock Purdy might not come in here? He might come in here and struggle, might not come in here and play well. Am I crazy to think that? According to the people in San Francisco, yeah, I'm crazy. According to the national media, I might be crazy. The trend I'm seeing, didn't play that great on the road, had trouble on the road in Las Vegas. Against Dallas last week, a pretty good defense. It was kind of pedestrian. It's kind of pedestrian. I think Dallas lost that game more than San Francisco won it. I don't know. That's just kind of where I'm at. So on that front in Brock Purdy, yeah, I don't see him just coming in, walking into Philadelphia and putting up great numbers and just winning the game on his own. I don't see that. I don't see him really doing anything spectacular against this Eagles team, especially with the momentum they have after a beatdown against the New York Giants. Now on the flip side, yeah, Jalen Hurts. The disrespect just continues. I mean, seeing on the list, I forget who put it out, having Jalen Hurts as the worst quarterback left in the playoffs. I'm third. I'm second, maybe not first, talent-wise. But fourth, Brock Purdy's over Jalen Hurts. Are you kidding me? It's ridiculous. And I want to talk about that tough 49er defense. I know they've had a good year. I'm just kidding a little bit, but a little bit. D'Amico Ryans did a great job. He's probably going to be a head coach. He probably should be a head coach. They have some trouble against a scrambling quarterback, and Nick Bosa kind of mentioned this, and he mentioned that Raider game. Quote from Nick Bosa, I think we got tested in that Raider game, kind of unexpectedly. It reminded us of what our kryptonite could be of the way we play. Referring to Jarrett Stidham, who rushed for 7 times, 34 yards in Week 17 against the 49ers defense. 49ers won that game by a final score of 37-34. All right, 37-34. Scored a lot of points in that ball game. They're worried about Jalen Hurts. He can take off. And Nick Bosa, one of the leaders who you might see move around side to side. You might see him against Lane Johnson a lot. You might see him against Mailata a lot. They're going to move him around a little bit. Called a running quarterback their kryptonite. Their kryptonite. Unreal. Jalen Hurts, he might be a little bit more than kryptonite. You might see Superman go down in this San Francisco defense. And I want to go through kind of their pass defense as well. And we know the Eagles, they have AJ Brown, who kind of had a down game, I guess you could say, in the wild card. And he wasn't really needed much, and that's fine when you're a number one receiver. It's fine. He wasn't really needed, but I want to go through the last 5 games, the top receiving players on the opposing teams that San Francisco has faced. CeeDee Lamb last week, 10 catches, 117 yards. DK Metcalf, 10 receptions, 136 yards the week before. Final week of the regular season, AJ Green, 3 receptions, 91 yards. The week before that, against the Raiders, the game that was on the road, only the second game that Brock Purdy started on the road. Devontae Adams, 7 receptions, 153 yards. And the week prior to that, Terry McLaurin against the Commanders, 4 receptions, 77 yards. Top receivers coming down the stretch, final 5 games of the year for the San Francisco 49ers. They're allowing a lot of yards to top receivers. I think A.J. Brown has a huge game this week. I think A.J. Brown goes for over 100 yards this week. I'd slam the over on A.J. Brown in passing yards. I think he'll get the ball this week, like he mentioned in his press conference. Don't worry about last week. I think he has a gigantic game this week. Okay, let's say they take A.J. Brown out of it, right? The 49ers defense is able to take A.J. Brown out of it. They have to worry about Devontae Smith. They have to worry about Miles Sanders. They have to worry about Dallas Goedert. And they have to worry about the running quarterback. As they've said, it's their kryptonite. I don't see the 49ers winning this game. I don't. I think everything is aligning for the Philadelphia Eagles to win this ball game. I think Brock Purdy going on the road is going to be difficult for him. He's going to have an awakening this week against Philadelphia at the Link and be like, what hit him? I think the Eagles defense is going to be able to get to Brock Purdy. I think they're going to sack him a number of times. I think they're going to get a couple of takeaways. I think Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown have a big game. I really do. I think it's going to be close. Don't worry. I think San Francisco, I know I've put San Francisco down a lot in this show. I think San Francisco has trouble in this game. I do. They're on the road. They haven't played a ton of road games. 5 straight games at home they've played. You'll get a little comfortable when you play at home. Now you got to go on the road in one of the toughest environments in the National Football League in sports. I have a hard time seeing San Francisco win this game. So my prediction for this ball game, 27-20. The Philadelphia Eagles are going to win this game. A.J. Brown has a big day. Make sure you pick that A.J. Brown anytime touchdown. Take the over in yards as well. The Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. The Eagles will be in the Super Bowl. They're going to Arizona. It's going to be fantastic. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for Sunday. That's going to pretty much wrap up the show today. I want quickly before we go, Embiid is the best, man. I mean, what a game last night against Ben Simmons. Unbelievable. Sixers won that one in a shootout, absolute shootout. No defense was played in that game. And then after the game, Embiid just responding to Kevin Durant on Twitter with the DX, Triple H, X. Oh, Troll Embiid is the best. Troll Embiid, whatever you want to call him, he's the best. So I had to get that quickly in there. Sixers, man, second in the East right now. Hey, can we do this a couple more times? We had the Phillies. The Eagles are in the championship game. Can we get to the conference finals? Can we do that, Sixers? Anyway, Eagles are going to win on Sunday, 27-20. Eagles are going to the Super Bowl. Can't wait to talk about it with you after the game. We also have a new episode of the pod coming. Jen, Jason, and I, we're hanging out all together, pre-recorded. That'll be the regular podcast. That'll be coming out tomorrow. Be on the lookout for that. Listen to it Friday, Saturday, and then before the game on Sunday. Jen will also be live on Saturday morning. She'll give you some of the best bets she has. She has a lot of great bets coming. It's going to be fun. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to Planet Philly Live Stream. I'll see you soon. Go Eagles.